Are you looking for gift ideas for a boy, maybe ages 9, 10, maybe through 12 to 13? Well, I am going to share with you some ideas for gifts, whether for Christmas, birthday, maybe you're just looking for one more gift for Christmas. I probably have some ideas for you here. So come along with me today as I share quite a bit, and not all of it is even right here. Hi, welcome to Learning with Boys. If you're new here, my name is Rachel. I am a homeschool mom of 4 boys. They are ages 11 to 21 right now, but I am going to share some ideas. I do have an 11-year-old, so I'm going to give you ideas from like 9 to 13-ish. It all depends on, what your boys are interested in and what they like. But I feel like I'll have something here that will interest you. So I am a homeschool mom, so I usually do homeschool content. This is a little bit different, but I'm excited to share with you. I did have to go around the house and pick up quite a few things. And what is interesting is some of the things they still have over the years. If you like this type of content, I share mostly homeschool content. I do share some gluten-free food content. I would appreciate it so much if you would subscribe and like this video if you find it helpful. I am going to go ahead and get started. I am going to start with a few things that are not on the table. And I am going to start with some big gifts that we have purchased for our boys over the years. And some of them are going to be like, yeah, I thought of that. But I'm also going to give you some hints about them. And the first one I want to talk about is bikes. Now, that is definitely a thing that we bought our boys between those ages. We bought them new bikes. And usually it would be like either at Walmart or like we have an Academy Sports near us that we would go and purchase a bike. But we learned very early on with our first one that when you purchase a bike from a place like that, it is actually a good idea to take it to a bike shop and have them do like a little check over the bike, because a lot of times things are put on backwards or something is just not tightened or done right. Now, if you know how to do that yourself, by all means, that is great. But in the beginning, we went ahead and had it double checked. Now, over the years, my boys have seriously got into biking, mountain biking. They all have their own mountain bikes. They have purchased, know how to fix their own bikes at this point. So that has changed. But if you're in the beginning and you have your first boy and he's like between those ages and you want to purchase him a bike, I really suggest that because it will help the bike last longer. There won't be frustration in the end. So I want to give you that hint, and our boys were always bike riders since they were 4 or 5. All right, the next thing is a trampoline. We did purchase our boys a trampoline probably a couple times. The first time we bought one used, but we did buy a new one for Christmas one year, and they have just used them over the years, wore them out. We actually have a different one in the backyard now. That one does not get used as much because my boys are older and my youngest is sort of all by himself. We had some friends over recently and they loved it. So I hate to get rid of it because it's nice when other kids do come over and they like to play. All right, some more things for outside that we have purchased our boys is a zip line. Now you would need yard area and trees for this, and definitely want to be careful about following the directions of the safety for putting one of those up. But I want to say you can get a fun one for like $100 or more if you have like several boys like us and you wanted to make it a combined gift. So I want to throw that idea out there. We had one up for years. Like I said, follow the safety rules of putting it up, but it was fun and they really did enjoy it. So all right, I'm going to show you a few more things that are outside but not so big. First thing is a rip board. We actually have a few of these. We probably have had more, and we probably have bought a couple new and have purchased a couple used, but I know that they have gotten this for a Christmas gift in the past. We had scooters when they were little, but they moved on to these, and my 11-year-old has been able to do this for like the last probably a couple years. So I wanted to share that with you. It's obviously used and I brought it from the garage. So I'm going to set it over here. You may think a football, they have a football, but I have one son that loves sports, football, basketball. I didn't bring them all up. They're all in the garage. I could do a juggling trick, right? But baseball, they do like to get a new ball. This is actually probably my youngest son. My almost 17-year-old loves a good football. Like he knows the quality now. When he feels it, he wants a good football. So anything sports related, ball related. One more thing I'm going to actually show a picture of it, and that is a spike ball game. It's somewhat new to me. My 16-year-old actually purchased his own, let's say about a year ago. And but my 10 at the time, 11-year-old loves to play with his older brother. If you have younger boys, I just think that it would be such a fun thing to get some energy out, but also be competitive at the same time if you have a smaller area. So I'm going to put this picture here. Let me know if you have a spike ball or if you have heard of that. I know it's very competitive, even for like college age that I'm hearing. So that is definitely something really all my boys have enjoyed at the different ages. Okay, if you have someone that is sporty, and just a knapsack is a great idea for boys to carry around all that stuff, and some water if they're going to go outside or go to a friend's house and play. I have one son who really likes this kind. My 11-year-old actually would rather have a regular backpack. I found him this one. I think he got it for his birthday, and it is from Walmart. It is actually one of the water pack bags, so it has the water attachment, but he has not used it just for that. He has used it, he took it to camp, carried all his stuff in it. It's the perfect size for his back. So you can take the water pack out and just use it as a regular backpack, and that has worked out great for him and sort of that size and that age. But backpacks are a thing for boys, and finding them just something that they could put all their stuff, find adventure stuff to put in. And let me show you some ideas. It could be like a survival backpack, and you can come up with all kinds of fun things to put in there, especially if you are a camper or a hiker. But let me show you some ideas. We hike all the time, and my boys don't really get a phone until they're like older teenagers. So we always have had walkie-talkies, and we have purchased different ones over the years. This one is for when they're real young, but I really feel like a 9 to 12 boy could handle a regular size. Now this pack is probably, we've had it for a while, but I feel like you could buy a decent pair of walkie-talkies if it's just for like hiking, because boys want to get ahead of you and take off and see what's around the next corner and be on an adventure without mommy seeing everything, and mommy's back here wondering if they're okay. And these are great. You all right? Good. Just making sure they're up there, so brother's with them, all that kind of stuff. So these are great, and my husband's used them when he has gone biking with them. Because when you're biking, you know, you just lose track of everybody. So these are great. And boys, my boys really just, when they were that young, played with them in the backyard. So these are definitely something all boys need, is walkie-talkies. A nice set of binoculars, and that is something that would go in the survival pack that they could take along with them. And also, I want to say here, I don't have any, but my boys have had smaller cameras. Starting, you know, once you get to the views, you're hiking, you're looking at things, even in your own backyard. We used to, even when we went to the park, this would be something they could take along with them. These are actually pretty nice. I think their papa gave them to them a long time ago. Just having a decent pair of binoculars in their backpack would be something fun. Okay, all boys have to have some sort of flashlight, and that would be something that could go in the backpack. We even have one of these lanterns that I think I purchased at Walmart. We've never had something like that, and it's really come in handy. But definitely head flashlights or some type of flashlight to put in that backpack. My boys, I went looking for, they all had flashlights near their bed. So it's something they, even my oldest who works on cars was asking for. We actually have purchased them all new head lamps for Christmas this year at all ages. So definitely something that boys like to have. And we have all sizes of flashlights. I should be able to find a flashlight in my house. Okay. For some reason, boys do like to have little cases to put their stuff in. And we bought them these ammo. They're just plastic ammo boxes. years ago, and they've all kept them and used them for some type of storage. Boys like to have manly storage. Let me just put that. You know, us girls, we like to have our baskets and pretty stuff, but they like it to look manly. And this is something, he obviously has a lock on it. I think he actually keeps his money in here. So, and they all use it for different reasons. But he may even have some of these in there. This is an age that boys want pocket knives. So, and some of these were probably given to him, but we did purchase him this last year. He's seen a friend with something like this carrying around all the time, and you could just put any like pocket knife in there and it goes on your belt. So now when we do pocket knives, my husband is very strict about that. My two older were actually in Cub Scouts when they were very young, and they have like a pocket knife pledge that he has hung onto, and he looks it up, and when they're about that age, he goes over it with them several times and almost makes them memorize it. So, but that is something, and I do suggest, you know, teach your boys about the importance of that kind of stuff and the safety. All right, gloves. Now, these are actually, I purchased these for my 16-year-old, and I'm looking for a pair for my 11-year-old that are like work gloves. And I have purchased work gloves for them all over the years, and they do have kid size. We usually go to like Tractor Supply, or we have a Rural King near us, but these come in so handy because one thing I'm going to mention that I do not have in here, and I probably could go out in the yard and get it, and that's a fold-up shovel, and that's something that they could carry around in their backpack, and I'll link a picture of it right here. Now, everything that I'm telling you, I'm going to do my best to give you a link below. So if you're looking for something in particular or you want to remember it, you could open it up and hopefully save it. So I'll give you an idea for the prices. I'm not giving you prices on any of this because I don't remember, and I know prices have changed over the years. Definitely some work gloves if you're going to get them a shovel. Talk about a couple fun things, right? I don't think they grow out of these. I don't, because my husband loves these too. So definitely some type of Nerf gun would be an idea if you want to handle that, because you will be finding bullets forever and ever, but you can buy the pack of bullets. I don't even think this is a Nerf brand. No, it's not. It's X-Shot, which I think is another brand that's pretty popular, and we have not had any problems with it. One of the Nerf ones. So these are always a hit, especially if you haven't bought one in a couple years. They would love that. I have several different ideas here, and I don't even know if they all go together, but just like this is actually a bathroom bag, but that might be just something that they're ready for if you do any type of traveling, or they go to their grandparents, or maybe you just have several kids and they need to keep their own bathroom stuff in their own bag. So I just wanted to share that idea with you. All my boys do have their own. Even my 11-year-old, I bought him one a year or two ago, and he just uses it for different things. But if he is getting ready to go somewhere, he has his own bag to put his toothbrush and brush and that kind of stuff in. So, okay, I am going to zoom in on this because this is like a toolbox, and this is actually my 11-year-old's now, and his older brother gave it to him. I think both of the toolboxes, but boys like manly stuff. So you might be thinking of a cute organizational basket idea, and they're thinking this. But he does like have his own little personal stuff in here, but he mostly uses it to store his Legos. So that might just be an idea for you also. Okay, here is a few other ideas that are just sort of like, I don't know if you would think of them, but a drawing. My son actually asked, my 11-year-old asked for another notebook for drawing. He has pencils. He likes to draw, and my oldest did. So we have bought packs of sketch sets before and sketch books. And if you have one that likes that, that is definitely a great side item that they will hang on to. Now, my oldest was way into Rubik's Cubes. I should show you his shelf of collections. And he actually started this a little bit later, probably more around the age of 13, but it was because we had just not thought of it. And a friend had one, and he picked it up and he took off with it. So it might be something that your son is interested in. Now, his brothers, they were younger and they wanted one too. So, and this is something he also had back then, and that's the speed stacks. the cups that you stack. It's like a game. And he did have the timer that you set down on the table, but I don't know where that is. And if I can find it, I will link these two things below. Any type of game that is actually more physical, they seem to like. That can be like quick competitive game. But so I wanted to share that with you. Now, I do want to mention they do like their chess, even though that's a little bit slower. Okay, I have pulled up here a few more other things, and these are just some ideas that we have. This is, I don't even know what you call this, but it has the little balls, and they have to like balance it to get it into the holes. This is like one of those little challenging wooden games. I'll try to see where I got this. I cannot remember, but I'm pretty sure I bought it last year. All right, here's another wooden game set. We actually bought this at Aldi's a couple years ago, but we had one before that we kept out on the deck, and they used it all the time. And it has like checkers, Chinese checkers, some other different games, some pickup sticks, I think a card game in here. And usually we would just leave it on the deck, and they would have that when they went out there. Right now I have it inside, but they still do use it, especially if company or friends come over. Okay, and we cannot forget about chess. Just having a nice chess game. My boys learned to play chess very young. Actually, it was at Cub Scouts that my oldest learned how to play chess. My husband and I are more checkers people, but they've all taught each other. We have several chess games, and I actually have this book about the history of chess. It's very interesting, and I know there are some other things out there. I think there's one that I'll link below that actually teaches you to play chess. My boys there's computer games that you can play chess either with yourself or with a friend, and they just enjoy the challenge of the game. And I like that it puts them down together and does something quietly. So it's nice when they're doing that particular activity. So, I mean, who wouldn't want this in the house, right? Okay, yeah. This is something we bought several years ago. It's pretty good quality one. I don't think it does the score. Maybe it was supposed to do the score, but it doesn't have batteries in it. But they have had it hooked on a bunk bed for several years, and really have, just go in the room, enjoy it, quiet. They can be active and wrestle and, shoot some baskets, either by themselves or with each other. So now this is something that my 11-year-old now has really got into in the last several years, and it does have to do with Legos, but it is a specific brand. So Legos is definitely something all my boys got into, especially around those ages. But this is from Kobe. They're more of a historical sets. I actually have a video. I'll link it below if you're interested, but he purchased an aircraft carrier from them. It was huge. Actually, if you've ever watched some of my videos, you might see it on my fireplace mantle. I don't know where to put it. It is so big, and I hate for him to take it apart. So right now it is there, and they have other jets and planes, even more modern. And I think he got this one last year, and he's asked for another one this year. So, and they have tanks. Wanted to share that with you. Let me show you what's in this last toolbox, and then I'm going to mention one thing that he is getting. Okay, this toolbox was his brother's too, but like I said, he really enjoys it. This one is actually out in the garage. So I am going to show you what is in it, because I really think it's a good idea. And I like that he used the toolbox to put it away in. I purchased him this last year or the year before, but it is actually his wood burning kit. So, and he has some paints in here. I think all this came in the kit, and he's got that all up here. And then he has the blocks of wood down in the bottom. And it came with blocks of wood too. I think I purchased this one at Sam's Club. I know there's, all different kinds that you can get. You can get them at Hobby Lobby. Probably get one on Amazon. So I'm trying to see what else he has in here. I think these might have to do with the set, how he wants the letters to look. So there's different settings that you can put the little burner on. So, and he does this outside. That's why it's in the garage in the toolbox. So that's something that he does outside also. So I wanted to share that with you because he does enjoy that. He doesn't do it like every day, but he pulls it out every once in a while. He had it out recently, actually. That's what made me think of it. So, and I think the toolbox is a great, like, that would be a way to present it even as the gift. And he would be like, but you could also put tools in there if your son is into that. He has actually asked for a couple of tools. I don't know if he'll get them. He has so many brothers and he has access to them right now, and there's a few other things that we are thinking about getting him. So we might wait another year or two before we actually get him some real tools. But one thing that we are getting him is an airsoft that he's seen that he really liked. He does like to play outside and dig. He's into World War II. He has a bunker and all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to share that with you. Our boys did that a lot when they were younger. Of course, they wore the goggles and, you know, long sleeves, did all the safety things. So I do want to share that with you. My boys loved any activity that was outside, especially if it was with other boys and it was competitive. All right, so I really hope there was an idea that I shared with you today that would be helpful and maybe filled that hole that you were trying to do for Christmas. I'd love to hear an idea that you're getting for your son. Now, I do want to mention, because I probably will get a comment, that these can, yes, they can be for girls or boys. So I do want to share that with you, but I have boys, so this is where my mindset is, but a lot of it, yes, would have been great for girls too. So, all right. I do appreciate you all watching. I hope you have a great week, and we will talk to you again soon.